Good morning, excuse me, and welcome to Zen Fit's. Not so pretty a day in Blackstone today. It's raining and cold, and must be Friday the 13th. Got up this morning and the cat had gotten out, and the direct TV doesn't work, so I can't watch Morning Joe. Oh no. So anyway, today is I'm celebrating my birthday. My birthday is Sunday, the 15th, and but we're celebrating it today because we're having a dinner and cake and ice cream, and I get to blow out the candle and candles. I don't know how many will be on there, but I begin to reflect on what is this birthday tradition? You know, I mean, there are several traditions, rituals that we celebrate in our society that are universal. One is the wedding rituals. One is Thanksgiving. That is, I talked about that. The bird is a sacrificial bird that is dismembered. It's made. This is the way sacrifice works historically. Is that you make some animal, some object sacred, and then you dismember it. And then you feed it then you eat it. The Eucharist. Christ is dismembered on the cross, and then the bread is broken by the priest, and this is the body and blood of Christ, and then you eat it. And then you're made whole through this sacrifice of dismemberment, this dying and resurrection. So there's this ritual, this mystery, and it's a mystery. This is why the Catholics make the Mass the center of their religion, and it's a mystery. Joseph Campbell mourned. He was my mythological guru, and he brought up a Catholic, and he mourned the decision of the Council to make the Mass in your language, English, and he turned the priest around. Where originally the priest had his back to the congregation and he performed the magic like an alchemist. He did something with the bread and all, he did something there, and then he turned around and he gave the host to the people to make them whole, you see. And so Campbell said, when they turned the priest around, so he made it look like a cook show. You know, the joy of eating God. You know, here's what we're doing. It's just bread and water. You see, the mystery was gone. So what's with this birthday? And what's with this blowing out the candle? Did you know? Let's take a look at Buddhism, which I do. And so the whole teaching of Buddhism, of the Buddha, taught for 45 years, the whole teaching is compressed into 4 truths or 4 steps, the 4 noble truths. That's all you need to know. The first truth is that there is suffering. Now, there's 2 ways, object and subjective way of looking at that. The objective way is, oh yes, there's suffering, there's a homeless person, why do we kill each other, why is there war? There's suffering, yes. There is suffering. And number 2, objectively, there is a cause for suffering. Oh yes, well, they did it, he did it, economy did it, the Republicans did it, the Democrats did it, somebody did it. That's the cause of our suffering. And then objectively, the third one is that there is the cessation of suffering. Well, yes, there is suffering, there's poverty, there's the cause. If we get rid of the cause, boom, there's the cessation of suffering. Very logical, very scientific. It's physics. You see the problem, you remove the problem, there is the end of the problem. And the fourth truth, basically, is called the Eightfold Path, and that are the conditions, the things you can do that creates the conditions for the first 3 to happen. Bam, that's it. So, that's the objective view. But what's the subjective view? Now, the subjective view is you and me. You are looking at me, and I'm looking at this. I imagine you, but the subjective is the first person, I. The third person is it. So it is suffering, but I suffer. You see, first person is I hurt. I'm caught in a vice. I'm caught in a double bind. I suffer. I hurt. The negativity, the weight of my karma. This feeling of suffering, the feeling of being disconnected, the feeling, the emotion, the unpleasantness, the discontent, the dissatisfaction. Why can't I be whole? Why can't I be complete? Why can't I experience life to the fullest? Why is there always something missing? Why is there a candle still left on the cake? Why can't, you see what I mean? Well, I got all these candles. Oh, shit, there's 2 left. That's why I suffer. I didn't blow out the candles. So, if you look at the Buddha's teachings from the subjective point of view, that's where the rubber hits the road. That's where you get some traction, because now you're dealing with, why do I suffer? Not why does those people suffer. See, that's the objective. I'm not included in that. But why do I, first person, why do I suffer? That's the question. Why do I feel dissatisfaction? Why am I in this Groundhog Day of argument with my brother or my wife or my neighbor? Why am I always stirring up trouble? Why am I always a victim? On and on. And whatever the question is, the point is, I hurt. Now, objectively, I'm going to say I hurt. Who did it? Somebody's got to be to blame. He did it, they did it, God did it, the devil did it, somebody did it, even me, I did it. Oh, I keep doing it, I'm such an idiot. Somebody's to blame, but that's the objective view. The subjective view is I hurt, but I don't know who did it. If I know who did it, that's objective. But if I hurt, I've got to ask the question. I've got to be open. I don't know, but I want to know. So now I'm going to look. Now I'm going to be curious and not look in the same places objectively. So obviously, if it's not objective, the cause, he did it, they did it, I as an object did it, makes me hurt, you see. If that's not the way to go, which is part of the Eightfold Path, the first step in the Eightfold Path is wise view. And wise view means that it's not an objective view in looking for someone, some object who hurt me. Wise view is that you're doing it to yourself. I'm doing it. So how am I doing it? Well, I have to catch myself doing it. I have to catch myself in the act. How can I do that, you see? Well, I have to practice, and this gets into the Eightfold Path, I have to practice meditation and mindfulness. Now, what is mindfulness? But the practice of noticing what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Oh, look at that. I just said that to that person, and that person did that, and then I'm doing this, and I'm noticing it. But I'm not judging, you see. I'm awakening the background awareness. I'm awakening the background awareness that is kind of like in a playground, and you take the kids to play on the teeter-totter, right? And maybe you're on the teeter-totter with the kid, you go up and down, you laugh and all that, and then another kid comes and he gets on the teeter-totter and you go sit on the park bench. Well, that park bench is being mindful. Now, you're sitting there, you're not interfering, but you see, the way the teaching works is that You're still on the teeter-totter, going up and trying to get the other one to go down or up. You see, ha ha, I'm down, you're up, back and forth, up, down, fight, relax, I'm up, down, up, down. But at the same time, your awareness is on the park bench. So you're aware of yourself on the teeter-totter as if you were a parent being aware of the children on the teeter-totter. The games people play. There was a book about that in the 60s. The games people play. Well, the way you see the game you're playing, which is the cause of your suffering, is to be able to awaken the mindful awareness that notices you're playing a game when you think you're not. See, if you're on the teeter-totter or the seesaw and you think it's serious, well, then you don't know you're playing a game. But children know they're playing a game. So when the mother says, come on, it's time to go home, they drop the game and go home. But at a minute 4, I know, you might be playing war games and killing everybody. Everybody's lying around. Time for dinner. Okay, you get up and go home. But if you don't know you're playing a game, well, then it's serious play, you see. It's not play at all. It's a death struggle. Okay. So the cause of suffering, you see, from the subjective point of view, is that you don't blow out the candle of the objective view. You still got candles going. We got one candle, there's a trick candle. You blow it out, it comes back. Comes back. Comes back. That's the story of our life. You blow out this, it comes back here. You blow it out there, it comes back here. It's like a waterbed. You push the bubble down here, it comes up there. You push the cause of your suffering down here, and it comes up over there. We're constantly pushing down the cause of our suffering. Why does it keep coming back? Why am I never satisfied? Why am I never at rest? Why I cannot find completeness? The peace that passes understanding. Why can't I find that? Well, we haven't blown out the candles, you see. So the birthday cake is basically a teaching, a Buddha teaching. That's my spin on it. But what is the cake? Usually a cake, wedding cake, birthday cake, is a symbol of the world. 3 layers, you see, usually. 3-layer cake, symbol of, it's all decorated up. And on your birthday, this is your cake. And you get to cut it, and you get to give it to your guests. But first, you have to blow out the candles. And if you blow out the candles, you get a wish. Now, getting back to the Buddha, the third noble truth, the cessation of suffering, is called Nirvana. Now, that's very confusing. People think, oh, is it heaven? What does Nirvana mean? Some mystical place? Valhalla? No, it's not in time, it's not place. It's the cessation of suffering. But you have no idea what the cessation of suffering is until you blow out the candles. Nirvana means, the literal meaning of nirvana, is the Sanskrit word, is to be blown out. What's blown out? The objective view of the world is blown out. Not that it goes away, but it opens us up to the subjective teaching, you see. So unless we blow out the fixation on who did it, they did it, I did it, somebody did it to me, unless we blow out that view, that objective view of reality, we never come to nirvana, or the cessation of suffering. Now, the cessation of suffering just means that I no longer stop looking for who hurt me. You see, I got up, this must be Friday the 13th. So I woke up this morning and the cat had gotten out. We're cat sitting. The storm door had not shut completely and somehow the cat had scooted out. And then the direct heat didn't work. So I've got to call a service guy to come. So, anyway, so as you notice, to me it's very humorous. But the point is that the cessation of suffering is not that you don't hurt, but your viewpoint about hurting changes. Your viewpoint shifts from being on the seesaw of life, angry at the other guy for putting you down, so angry at the point that you get up and shoot him, to the viewpoint from the park bench. You're still on the teeter-totter, you're still going up and down, but at the same time, your Buddha nature, your awareness, your prajna, your mind awakened that does not rest on any seesaw, is aware from the park bench. So you see the play of it. You see the play of the children. You see the play. While at the same time, you're in the play. You're both in the audience and as the actor, you see. That's the shift. That's nirvana. So the blowing out of the candle is blowing out of the fixed view that everything is a thing and all play is, and that you are in a battle to be up by making the other end of the teeter-totter down, you see, up, down. And that keeps going back and forth because you never blow out the candle. Always there's another candle, or it magically burns up again. So nirvana is blowing out the candle. And then you get your wish. And then you get to serve the cake to your guests. And then you get your presents, you see. But first you have to blow out the candle. Thanks for dropping in on our Zen Fit today. Hope the cat comes home.